Welcome to the Gold Coast. We're down at Paradise Point this morning and we're going to chase a few whiting. Whiting are a very popular species down here, and I hope over the next few minutes to be able to give you a few hints and tips to improve your whiting fishing. What we're going to use today are two very different rods. One is this 10'6", very long, soft rod, nice soft tip on it for those subtle whiting bites, with a 5-inch Alvey on it. I'm an old fella, I love me Alvies, but if you want to use a 4000 spinning reel, that'll match that up perfectly. The other rod we use is this little fella. Most people just refer to them as a boat rod. But again, the same nice light rod with a very soft tip for those subtle whiting bites. This one's just got a small spinning reel on it. The reason for that is to balance the rod out nicely. Both rods have 6-pound monofilament line on them, and that's all you need for whiting fishing. Nice light line to not spook the fish. Now, as with all fishing, your trace is very important to your whiting fishing, and in fact it's the most important part of your whiting fishing. What we'll use is this today, and this is our big secret. 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. Up 3 years ago I'd never even heard of this stuff until all the soft plastic fishermen were using it for their lure fishing. So I thought if it was that good, maybe I should use it for my whiting fishing. I tried it and I haven't looked back. I wouldn't competition fish without it. The fluorocarbon leader is supposedly invisible in the water, and it certainly seems to work. Okay, our other thing today that was probably a little bit different to most people's whiting fishing is the fact that I use a 4-ball sinker, which is quite a large sinker. I'll just turn them around so that the camera can see them. As we start fishing, I'll actually explain why I use such a heavy sinker. Okay. The other thing that's very important to my whiting fishing, and don't think that any of this is new, this style of whiting fishing has been around since the 1960s. So it's been around a long time, and that's the size of the hook I use. Okay, that's a very small hook, short shank, mainly because we're going to use bloodworms for bait. I dig my own, but you can buy them. And anyone who's ever dug worms, or if you buy worms, you realise how dear they are. The last thing you want to do is waste them by having to fill up a long shanked hook. You can make a very presentable, natural looking bait with that hook, and the whiting will take it without even realising there's a hook in it. Okay, I just want to show you how to rig a hook properly for your whiting fishing. It's no good buying the best of bait or digging the best of bait and not having it rigged properly. What we've got here is a little piece of bloodworm. Now I know we're using a lot more worm, but we are making a much better attractive bait, a more natural looking bait for the whiting. And there you go, you wouldn't even realise there was a hook in there. That's a roast dinner to a whiting, that bait. That's what you want. Oh, nice bite. That's what you like to see. Just have to see what it is now. Oh. Whatever it is, it's cranky. Same thing, but the little rod's doing its job. And it's a nice whiting. Not a monster. Let him tire himself out round the boat. Oh. Like I said, you can see the soft rod doing its job, the drag coming on when it needs to. There's our big sinker out of the water with our long trace. And this is what we're after. There we go. Not a great fish, but certainly a 30 centimetre plus fish, and probably the best eating size fish of the whole lot. Okay, he is there. What happened was he swam right to the back of the boat on us with the slack water without us even noticing it. So that's actually worked quite well, that bait. He's done everything it's good it was supposed to do. The whiting hasn't, and that's where these things get a little bit cranky around the boat. Now you can see why we're using those long soft rods. And one more lunge. Oh, come on. Oh. That's the best part about whiting fishing, is that they usually put their best performance up around the boat. Now this guy doesn't want to come out the water. I better check his size, mate. Ooh. We better use the net. I guess that's why we buy nets. He's a bit bigger than I expected. We'll just get him out the net now, so let you have a good look at him. And you can see, not quite I guess he is nearly an elbow slapper, you'd have to say. He certainly is a good quality fish. And yeah, just while we've got him here, you can actually see how long the trace is that I'm using. It's at least 1.5 meters, and that's all part of the technique and the secret to big whiting fishing. And that's why I said before about using a big sinker. If you use a long trace, it compensates for the big sinker. It allows the bait to look as natural as possible. And that's what we're looking for, just one of these little fellas. The best eating estuary fish there is. I'm just going to check the measurement for this fish. And as you can see, he's 41. Okay, now the cameraman's going to get the shock of his life because these are beautiful fish and there's no need to kill them. We're just out here to show you how to catch them. So we're going to let this fella go.